Tonight's basketball matchup in Phoenix turned into a complete disaster for the visiting team. The opening half showed some promise and competitive spirit, but everything fell apart after the break. The squad had no answers for stopping Alyssa Thomas or really any player on the opposing roster. Every single member of the home team seemed to find their rhythm and contribute meaningfully to the blowout victory. This performance clearly demonstrated why the absent star player remains so crucial to the team's success. Those who argued the squad performs better without their main attraction were proven wrong tonight. The team desperately needs their leading scorer to return as soon as possible. Sound very damn familiar, and it looked like we might have to go get another hardship player. I just gotta be honest here, guys. That is what it's looking like. Now, with all that being said, we have to talk about this damn drama that occurred in the very beginning of the game, and that is between none other than Joanna Bonner and Lexie Hall. Yes, they had a situation to where Lexie was D'ing up on Joanna Bonner. I mean, she had her guarded, lights out, and if this happened, she got her low rocks off on. Without major improvements, this franchise won't be winning many contests moving forward. Making matters worse, injury struck again. Ari McDonald suffered an injury, followed by Sydney Colson getting hurt as well. This unfortunate pattern feels all too familiar for this organization. Another hardship exemption player may become necessary given these mounting health concerns. The most talked about moment occurred early in the contest involving Joanna Bonner and Lexie Hall. Hall was applying intense defensive pressure on Bonner throughout their matchup. During one particular sequence, Bonner appeared to get physical with Hall, getting directly in her face after a play. The confrontation quickly spread across social media platforms. The incident appeared to involve a questionable moving screen by Alyssa Thomas that preceded the altercation. Bonner's aggressive behavior toward Hull seemed unnecessary, especially considering Hull was simply playing tough defense. Questions remain about what exactly was said during the heated exchange, though media members likely won't pursue this angle during press conferences. When the final buzzer sounded, Alyssa Thomas had made basketball history with her third straight triple-double performance. She finished with 18 points, 10 assists, and 11 rebounds. Looking at the complete statistical breakdown, every player who entered the game made positive contributions. The entire roster seemed motivated and ready to compete at the highest level. Even role players made their mark during limited minutes. Kalea Cooper played just 3 minutes but recorded 2 assists. Another reserve contributed 5 points in only 3 minutes of action. The depth and balance displayed by the winning side was remarkable. Sydney Colson's injury proved particularly heartbreaking, occurring just 1 day after celebrating her birthday. It's that question. No one answers that question. Now, with all of that being said, the game is finally over. Just moments ago, Alyssa Thomas had made history, 3 consecutive triple-doubles, I believe she had. Yeah, man, she got off, bro. She had 18 points, 10 assists, and 11 damn rebounds. Look, just look at the damn box score. Everybody that got in the game did something, bro. They did something. Look at the the non-contact nature of the injury made it even more difficult to witness. She simply slipped and went down awkwardly, requiring assistance to leave the court. Sophie Cunningham emerged as a standout performer with 18 points on efficient shooting. Her strong showing came after receiving more opportunities with the basketball. When given proper touches and involvement in the offense, she consistently delivers quality results. Content creators and analysts have been advocating for increased usage, and tonight proved those suggestions correct. The influence of social media commentary on actual game decisions appears undeniable. Recent videos highlighting certain players' need for more minutes seem to translate into expanded roles tonight. KK Arnold played 10 minutes while Chloe Bibby also received extended court time. Arnold contributed 5 points during her opportunity. The third quarter represented the turning point of the entire contest. The visiting team managed only 11 points during those crucial 12 minutes. This offensive drought essentially decided the outcome and highlighted their struggles without their primary scorer. Previous predictions about the team being more dangerous without their star player were thoroughly debunked. Sophie Cunningham played well, but she also suffered an injury when someone accidentally hit her in the eye during the action. Other notable performances included Tasha Howard's 7 points and Alyssa Smith's complete disappearance from the game plan. Smith, who typically records double-doubles, finished with just 4 points and 3 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell managed 12 points but shot poorly from the field. Ari McDonald added 4 points before her injury occurred. The situation became so dire that seldom-used reserve Bree Turner entered the game for 11 minutes. Turner even managed to score, which demonstrates how desperate things became for the visiting squad. The extensive travel schedule may be contributing to these poor performances and lack of energy. This defeat serves as a wake-up call about the team's current trajectory and their dependence on their missing superstar. Without significant improvements or the return of key players, many more difficult nights lie ahead for the struggling franchise. The Indiana Fever continues to generate significant discussion across. It was absolutely pathetic, and we know we've been hearing some people come out and say, the Indiana Fever are better without Caitlin Clark. Thank God asylums are coming back. So anyway, Candace Bucker has come out and she has been like, hold on, let's just kill this narrative. Right here and now, let's give it an ugly death. And the other thing we're going to get to is, today is the trade deadline. J.C. Sheldon, that's right, the player that had the vicious attack on Kate. Her controversial tier rankings, which placed Angel Reese several levels down from the top, sparked intense backlash from fans who defended Reese aggressively. Despite Parker's legendary status and accomplished career, critics attacked her credentials and expertise. The narrative suggesting Indiana performs better without Caitlin Clark has gained traction among certain voices. However, Parker has stepped forward to directly challenge this perspective, aiming to eliminate such misconceptions entirely. Her goal appears to be shutting down these theories completely. Today marks the league's transaction deadline, creating additional intrigue around potential roster moves. Deadline. J.C. Sheldon, that's right. The player that had the vicious attack on Caitlin Clark earlier in the season that started all the fallout, the Marina Mabrey slammed to the ground and a Tina Charles fist in the back. Yeah, that perpetrator, the one that Sophie Cunningham later did the Steven Seagal Aikido flip on at the end of the game, as she fully accepted her role as enforcer. Grab that shirt, it's in the merch store, Fever Enforcer. J.C.S. Sheldon, the player responsible for the controversial incident involving Clark earlier this season, remains a topic of discussion. That particular play, which included Marina Mabrey's aggressive takedown and Tina Charles' physical contact, triggered significant controversy. Sophie Cunningham later responded by executing what observers described as a defensive maneuver against the perpetrator, establishing herself as the team's protector. The deadline arrives at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, with approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes remaining. Veteran forward Damiris Dantos appears to be a potential departure candidate. The 10-year veteran who joined Indiana in 2024 has contributed 4.9 points and 2.3 rebounds per game during the 2025 season. Questions arise about other roster decisions, particularly regarding players like Bree Turner's limited involvement. Turner rarely sees court time, making her roster spot questionable. Meanwhile, Chloe Bibby might be losing playing opportunities to Dantos, despite Dantos showing inconsistent performance. While capable of hitting crucial three-pointers occasionally, her overall consistency remains problematic. Following a brief 6-minute appearance against the Sparks, speculation increased about Dantos becoming available for trades. Hall examined why Dantos could potentially be moved, though she considers such action unlikely. Hall noted the difficulty in understanding Indiana's plans for Dantos, citing erratic minutes and inconsistent production. However, the organization seems willing to remain patient with her development. While major moves appear improbable, teams seeking continuous improvement might consider restructuring their bench depth. Indiana recently added Chloe Bibby, who has shown promise during her brief 5-game tenure. Coach Stephanie White's handling of Bibby has drawn criticism, particularly when she limited the sharpshooter to minimal minutes during a 9-point loss. Bibby's three-point shooting ability makes such decisions puzzling to observers. White's substitution patterns and timing decisions have become sources of confusion for many analysts. Her approach to player rotations often seems without clear logic, especially regarding hot shooters. There appears to be a pattern of removing players just as they find their rhythm, which creates head-scratching moments for viewers. Parker addressed the ridiculous claim that Indiana operates more effectively without Clark in the lineup. She firmly stated that the team does not perform better in Clark's absence, like it was likely. Quote, "It's hard to gauge what the Fever's plan is for Dantos. Her minutes have all been all over the place, and so has her production. That said, the Fever seem to have patience. A move probably isn't likely, but for a team wanting to continuously stay in the contender conversations, reorganizing the bottom of the roster isn't out of reach. Indiana recently signed Chloe Bibby, who has impressed in her. However, she acknowledged that different players step up during such periods, similar to how Natasha Howard elevated her game during Commissioner Cup play. These situations can provide growth opportunities for teams. Parker emphasized Clark's high basketball intelligence, noting how she studies the game even while absent. This observation period allows Clark to identify ways to enhance her contributions upon return. The combination of other players stepping up while Clark analyzes and improves makes Indiana potentially more dangerous. Parker described the Fever as genuinely scary from the beginning, and this development only reinforces that assessment. As impressed in her short 5-game stint. Well, look, Stephanie White's got a player. You know, we saw there was massive backlash against Stephanie White for not. She gave Chloe Bibby 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I was like, what are we doing here? They lost that game by 9, and she's a knockdown 3-point shooter. What are we doing? I don't know. That's one of my biggest issues with Stephanie White is her face displayed some kind of distinctive makeup or markings during her comments, creating an unusual visual presentation. Jeff Teague recently suggested that Indiana performs better without Clark, prompting legendary player Nancy Lieberman to respond decisively. Lieberman dismantled Teague's argument by referencing his modest NBA career as merely serviceable, effectively crushing his credibility on the topic. Parker continues facing criticism from multiple that's one of my biggest issues with Stephanie White is I cannot figure out the rhyme or reason to the timing of her substitutions and the substitutions themselves. It's totally confusing. I'm like, what are we doing? And it seems that when a player gets hot, shooting, oh hell, like somebody's knocked down 3 threes in a row, let's bench them. Watch games and just see, you're going to see a pattern there that is like head-scratching. It really is. Regarding potential deadline moves, uncertainty surrounds Indiana's plans. The organization's track record with mid-season acquisitions raises questions about their decision-making abilities. Their most successful additions have been Chloe Bibby and Eri McDonald during the season, while other moves have produced mixed results. The Deanna Bonner situation created significant problems, causing disruption throughout the organization.